We are rolling.
Good morning. Welcome back to the conversation. This is Midlife Crisis Activities. This is our lifestyle and pop culture webcast, our daily shout out to the world. I'm your host, Patrick Russell. And over there is my very vivacious producer, Veronica. Together, we're here to lend our voices to the noise from a multi-generational perspective to help explain everything that's right and wrong in this world. Good day to you, Veronica. Well, it didn't take long, folks, for me to have to issue out a public correction for a gaffe that I made yesterday regarding how I read the Texas state abortion ban. So let me correct myself, gang. It's actually an abortion ban that takes effect after 6 weeks into the pregnancy. I had misread it to say it was within the first 6 weeks you couldn't, which means that the day after pill, the morning after pill, the Plan B pill would be something that a woman couldn't use. But in actuality, it's the opposite. It really is, with this Texas state abortion ban, your only option as a woman who could potentially feel like they did something that might have made them pregnant would now have to just blindly take the Plan B as a day after vitamin, if you will, just to make sure you wouldn't run afoul with the Texas state abortion law. Question with you, Veronica. What do you say now that we really understand the dynamics? You cannot have an abortion in the state of Texas 6 weeks after 6 weeks into the pregnancy, which means the 4 weeks that typically you would need to wait for your cycle and your menstruation cycle to occur, and then knowing right off the bat that you're late and having a 2-week window to do something about that. First and foremost, how do you feel about that from a woman's point of view?
I feel that my rights are they're not being heard. And you know, it's I know this topic, it's sensitive for a lot of people, a lot of women, but it's just weird how in one hand we want to have our constitutional rights, heard, and then on the other side it's like, oh no, you don't have any rights. After, before 6 weeks, you can do whatever, whatever you want. After 6 weeks, that's on us. So I don't agree with that. I think that's pretty stupid.
So let me ask you something. With the 6 weeks window, would you, knowing your body and whether or not it is consistent or inconsistent with the cycle, would you know that you were pregnant within that 6 weeks? Or what's the likelihood you wouldn't knowing your body, that you might not even know you're pregnant until well after that 6 week window?
Yeah, so some women are irregular when it comes to their period, and then some other women are regular, right? So I wouldn't know. I think I will know.
That's too close to tell. The margin of error of 2 weeks, I know just from living with you, that would be really a hard prediction for you to make, because that 2 weeks is sometimes not enough.
Yeah, I wouldn't know, and I mean, that means that if it's after 6 weeks, I wouldn't have a choice to do anything, even if I don't want to, or even if I want to do something. So
from a younger generation's perspective, now how do you feel about the aftermath of the Trump administration and their ability to swindle 3 conservative justices onto the Supreme Court? And do you feel that played a part in the inaction that the Supreme Court provided to the Texas state movement to get this law passed without any stoppage from the Supreme Court? Do you feel, first off, that it had directly a consequence to the Trump administration being allowed to put 3 conservative judges on the bench?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this is our plan per se, and Texas they have been doing some crazy movements with guns, and then now this. So yeah, I don't have any doubt on that.
So now, from the Texas state point of view, a lot of the citizens there and residents would complain that this is just for the state of Texas, that a person, if you read the story, would now generally have to drive approximately 300 miles or less in order to get to another state in order to perform the abortion, should that be necessary in the woman's life. From the Texas resident standpoint, do you feel like there is an argument from the state side to say, well, we don't want it, but it's not like we're preventing any women from driving a couple hours away in order to have the procedure done? Do you feel like that's a valid argument to have?
I mean, it's not valid, but I guess that's how they feel. And then if the state of Texas wants to pretend that women are not gonna do it, and then let them dream it in this world, fantasy. But if I was living in Texas, trust me, I will freaking drive 5-6 hours. I will fly, because at the end of the day, that's my body, that's my choice, and I am a feminist, yes. And if I don't want to have a baby, I won't not have it, unless you want to pay, you want to support, you want to take care of my child, maybe. Other than that, that's my freaking body. I decide.
Well, Veronica, in a previous webcast, let's be honest, you kind of already revealed how you handled this situation. You would be running to the pharmacy for that Plan B.
I have no shame.
As a vitamin, wouldn't you? You'd take it right along with your Flintstones if you needed to, wouldn't you?
And I have no shame of saying that. I prefer to be responsible for my actions. I prefer to not have kids if I'm not financially stable, if I'm not mentally stable, and if I'm not ready to have kids, because at the end of the day, I'm going to be the one struggling with the child, right?
Being responsible for raising this other human being. Absolutely.
And people can criticize about, oh, Jesus, I mean, they can say a lot of things, but at the end of the day, they're not having the baby.
Right.
They're not paying for the bills. They're not doing all these things, so they don't have any comments to say.
Final note, it would be interesting to see, should this abortion ban hold and we get to see a certain amount of window of time of it being enacted, do the sales of the Plan B morning after pill, do they shoot up? Do they rocket straight up? All right, guys, that could be some inside information on some stock you might want to watch. All right, guys, use the comment boxes below. Please don't just subscribe to the show, even though we will be doing this back and forth on a daily basis. But lend your voices to the show to make it a whole lot more fun. Guys, no matter what comes your way today, no matter what obstacles or challenges that you may face, you just need to remember one thing. Give them hell. Have a great day, guys. We'll see you tomorrow.